Very warm welcome and greetings to everyone. This is Roshan Devshin Senapati from BA Honours Political Science 3rd year. And now I'm going to present my topic on Aristotle's theory of equality. Aristotle is known as the father of political science. He is a well-known, established, profound and prominent philosopher of his time. Both Plato and Aristotle were considered as footnote of Western philosophy. Plato most probably believed in idealistic approach, while as compared to that of Aristotle, he most probably believed in the realistic approach. Most of his theories, like that of the theory of justice, especially showed relevance in reality and much kind of that of a practical and a pragmatic approach. And as we know, Aristotle's theory of equality is linked with the theory of justice. They both are connected and interlinked with each other, and they both make each other complete. So now we'll be moving forward to the Aristotle's idea of justice. Aristotle's idea of justice is divided into two types: distributive justice and rectificatory justice. Distributive justice is particularly based on social justice. Legislators who are responsible of making laws are responsible to distribute the justice among all equally, and according to the formulation of the distributive justice, reward should be given in accordance with the person's contribution. Distributive justice meant that offices and wealth, rewards and dues were distributed among different social classes according to their contributions based on merit defined in accordance with the spirit of the constitution. Most probably we can say distributive justice believed in an equitable society in which we can say who will get what and how. And now moving forward, the rectificatory justice, which is a platform of grievance redressal. It is a platform which provides a particular form of that of a judicial system or kind of a judiciary. When something wrong has been done, then the judiciary rectifies it. And it particularly follows the principle of proportion, which particularly says punishment shall be given in accordance to the harm done to the society. And now, according to Aristotle, he gave a statement that particularly means, or most probably says, it is unjust to treat equals unequally. Second one, it is equally unjust to treat unequals equally. He gives the theory in the context of describing the main common cause behind revolutions. On the basis of analysis of 158 constitution, he suggests that the most common cause has been the feeling of inequality, real or imagined, as it is directly related to the feeling of injustice. When we feel inequality is justified, we won't reward. For example, apple and potato cannot be of same price, calling as equality. The root cause of revolution is inequality, and revolution cannot be segregated separately. And now, moving forward to the theory of slavery. According to Aristotle, some are masters by nature and some are slaves by nature. And if masters and slaves are treated equally, then it is considered as injustice. Those ever who have reason, courage, talent, intellectual abilities are out to be masters. And those who lack those qualities, skills, are out to be slaves, and doesn't matter whatever hardships or hard work they have been through. It is injustice to treat both as equals, and it will lead to an unjust. According to him, a meritocratic society which is particularly based on differentiation of rewards, that is considered to be a just society, because people will get rewards according to their contribution in the society. So now I'll be concluding it. A notion of natural inequality is central to Aristotle's conception of humanity, with a view to both individual and communal living. In an important sense, inequality not only makes the political life desirable but necessary if one wishes not only to live but to live well and prosperously. According to Plato, we can say he believes in an unequal society where each and every individual, if the requirements that they particularly require will be provided, then especially using them, they can particularly reach to a certain level of prominence and can attain a certain potential that will lead their future, and if the requirements are what can I say, if the things they deserve or most probably they get and most probably they use it beneficially, then particularly they'll deserve what they get and most probably reach to a certain level higher and definitely be successful. And if they won't be able to make use of the resources or especially the requirements that are being provided, then definitely they won't be doing anything and they'll be a failure. Thank you.